This side, this side. और वेट मत कीजिए, मुझे लगता है आप सीधा चलिए सर, सीधा चलिए। ये सामने से टांग
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Please, सामने आ रहा please.
ये तो इधर ही आ रहा है। अरे ये तो इधर ही आ रहा है भैया।
अब बुकिंग देख रहे हैं अपना
भैया इधर तो नहीं आएगा।
ओ भाई
भागो भागो।
So 6-7 years old, male.
साउंड आ रहा है पीछे कुछ
shit. Hello? Hello?
Sweats from my forehead was dripping on camera as a bold male leopard just heightened the mercury in Bandipur National Park. Also, we have reached peak civilization moment. I was watching my first big cat sighting in Bandipur in tandem with mobile ringtone.
Hello? Hello?
Oh god. Wow. Please.
One silver lining was our jeep was the only one present at the spot. Otherwise, things could have been much more chaotic. Or shall I say golden lining? Because what happened next was totally an out of the world moment, and I forgot about all annoyances, soaking in the magic of nature's brilliance. Along with me, now you are watching a living masterpiece, languidly scent marking on the tree with a fluid grace that seemed to defy gravity. Out of the world. This is out of the world. Leopards, even bold ones, don't remain in vicinity for such a long time, and typically a regular wildlife safari offers those blink and you miss moments when the animal is seen getting down from trees or crossing the road briskly. But here, as if the entire forest has joined in celebration of rosettes to protest against Deer National Park. Leopard spots are called rosettes because they resemble the shape of a rose. These patterns camouflage their bodies as they move through the grass and trees. Baby leopards are born with barely visible spots, which emerge as they grow older.
She's a leopard. Unbelievable. She's about 6.5 months old. Oh, sorry, 6.5 years old.
Unless you catch leopards sleeping at a quiet place, catching them in action for such duration during safari is very rare. Here you saw 9 minutes of leopard footage straight, but the actual sighting lasted for almost 20 minutes. Just that I took some time to admire the animal through my own eyes instead of camera lens, and the rest of the footage is crappy like this as the jeep was moving, so haven't included here. But was this the highlight of today in terms of quality sighting? Who knows? As I have told you, I have seen 2 leopards. Back in Bangalore, but still wearing the same t shirt just for the feel of it. When our guide said longest leopard sighting, he actually meant longest quality sighting because even in future safaris in Bandipur, I have seen a leopard for 45 minutes. He was sleeping on top of a hill, and even those who were using 500 prime lens could barely see. And since I was using telephoto lens, I was able to see the leopard through my lens, but these are not considered very good sightings because from bare eyes, hardly anything was visible. But here the leopard came right in front of our jeep, approached us head on, and spent a lot of time. Thank God our jeep was the only one in the spot. Otherwise, I don't think the leopard would have spent so much time scent marking on it. Perhaps OpenAI Sora would create such visuals in a year or two, or come dangerously close of resembling the real life immersive experience without ever needing to visit a jungle just by textual prompt. But who will replace the sheer magnificence and awesomeness of actually seeing this in the wild? Apple Vision Pro's advanced version. I mean, sure, technology has done wonders, and nowadays you see in Discovery Channel, in Animal Planet, curated experience of lions hunt, monarchs migration, half concocted visuals of humans surviving in the wild, all with cutting edge technologies presented for your drawing room experience. But I believe nothing can replace the actual sensation of seeing a real feline in his raw self amidst natural habitat. And in India, leopard population has increased in the last 4 years drastically, almost 63%. That's why it has become a tad bit easier in Indian national parks in comparison to how it was before to spot leopards, especially in hilly regions like Rajasthan's Javai or MP's Sariska or even in Bandipur. In Kaziranga, it is still incredibly difficult. I haven't seen any leopard in Kaziranga inside the national park. The only time I came across a leopard was when it was on the highway. Kaziranga has 2 different kinds of leopards though. One is this common Indian leopard, another is clouded leopard, which is very rarely seen. around Namdapha region. In southern India, we only get to see this one species of leopard, that is the common India leopard. And the black leopard that people talk about in Kabini is also the common Indian leopard. By the way, a lot of people think that black leopard is exclusively in Kabini. That's not true. It's there in Bandipur also, it's there in Kaziranga also. It's just that they are not so well advertised. Speaking about Kabini, some of you might have seen renowned wildlife photographer and filmmaker Mr. Shahjang has captured scarface in Kabini, scent marking on a tree similarly. And I'm immensely happy that without not even half as sophisticated equipments or wildlife experience under the belt, without any team support, I alone managed to capture this footage with a modest beginner range SLR in a bigger habitat. Wish I could spend as much time inside the forest as these professionals do. But nevertheless, this time Bandipur has been very special, and even Leopards actually provided me apparently some photo ops. Proud moment also to witness the seamless merging between untamed nature and control technology when somebody was speaking on phone in the vicinity of a leopard. We tried to gesture him twice to make him stop, but he was pretending to not listen. Because if I would have spoken up, then that would have driven away the animal, because they are very, very shy animals actually. No matter whether you call them bold or whatever, leopards don't like to be seen at all. They're not like tigers. Sometimes, if you get to see a tiger, sometimes it might feel like as if they're giving you photo ops. But leopards are not like that. Have you noticed one uncanny thing, that when the leopard actually came to our vicinity, there was no alarm call. The jungle was totally silent. That's because langurs or deer cannot always detect the movement. Sometimes, the langurs can sense from very far because they're seeing actually, and they produce alarm calls. And sometimes they stop also because they believe that there's no necessity to produce the alarm, because we need to remember that they are not producing the calls for us. They are just producing the calls to actually, as an altruism mechanism to actually tell others to safeguard themselves, right, in the group. So it's not for humans. So always you cannot rely on alarm calls. But in this next sighting that I had, there you will get to see how alarm call plays a very significant part. Especially there will be if you are well acquainted with classical Indian music, there is a concept called jugalbandi, where somebody with a musical instrument asks the questions and somebody responds with two different musical instruments, or sometimes it can be the same instrument as well. In the second sighting, you will see that how the jungle becomes resoundingly loud, in sharp contrast with this one, because the langur and deer almost participate in a jugalbandi, that somebody is giving the call, somebody is receiving it, and how the call is getting propagated all around the forest. And so it's interesting that though I have multiple big cat sightings in my 6 safaris in Bandipur, but all the sightings are very distinct. They're very different from each other. So yeah, it has been a fantastic outing in Bandipur, and I hope you enjoy the experience alongside with me.